Yeah. Madam Clerk, please take the roll.
Representative Baum. Here. Camper. Cochran. Faison. Garrett. Hawk. Hazelwood. Here. Hicks. Love. Moon. Shaw. Whitson. Williams. Chairman Hicks.
Here.
Chairman, we have a quorum.
All right, thank you. I'd like to call the Finance, Ways and Means Subcommittee to order for February 21st, 2024. Members, are there any announcements or personal orders before we begin? Hearing none and seeing none, we have 25 bills on our calendar today, and we're going to begin with item number one. Item number one on our calendar is House Bill 375 by Speaker Pro Tem Marsh. You have a motion second, sir. You are recognized for a brief description.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. This bill today concerns the Tennessee Duck River Development Agency, which is the agency that protects our Duck River in southern Middle Tennessee, goes between Coffee, Bedford, Marshall, Murray, and Hickman counties. What this legislation does is it's a redevelopment of it, restructure of it, and it makes several changes to that, which is, we haven't had any problems on it. We've got everybody involved in it. It's okay with it now, so I'd be glad to take any questions.
All right. Thank you, Speaker Marsh. Members, any discussion on House Bill 375? Hearing none and seeing none, there is a cost associated with House Bill 375, so we will have to place it behind the budget, consider it at a later date. But I do look forward to working with you, Chairman, to get this up and going. So without objection, House Bill 375 goes behind the budget. Thank you, Chairman. Item number two on our calendar is House Bill 2019, also by Speaker Pro Tem Marsh. I have a request here to roll this bill 1 week. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Without objection, House Bill 2019 rolled 1 week. Thank you, sir. All right. That brings us to item number three on our calendar. Item number three is House Bill 2641 by Leader Lambert. You have a motion second. Sir, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the committee. Very simple permissive bill that allows for local cities to reduce their grocery sales tax if they choose to do so.
All right. Thank you very much for this description. Members, any discussion on House Bill 2641? Hearing none and seeing none, we're now voting on House Bill 2641, moving on to full finance. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 2641 moves on to full finance.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
Thank you, Leader. All right, moving on to item number four. Item number four on our calendar is Chairman Boyd. And I do not see Chairman Boyd, so without objection, we will roll House Bill 484 to the Hill. Without objection, so moved. Members, let me say this. I know we've got several of our sponsors moving in and out of different committees and presenting, so I'm going to try to accommodate as much as I can as I see them come in the room as well as the other members that are here. So we're going to try to accommodate as much as we can. All right, so that was item number four. Again, we rolled that one to the Hill. That brings us to item number five, Chairman Carr. That's House Bill 2057, and I know he's also chairing his committee, so it may take him just a few minutes to get in here. So we will also, without objection, we're going to roll House Bill 2057 to the Hill. Without objection, so moved. That brings us to Chairman Sapicki. I see Chairman back there. We're on item number six, House Bill 1928 by Chairman Sapicki. You have a motion to second. Sir, you're recognized for a brief description.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members, currently Tennessee state law is more strict than federal regulations for when someone needs a CDL to transport our school children. It requires smaller buses or anything used to transport children to obtain a full CDL. This is cumbersome for those schools, and with the need for school bus drivers, relaxing Tennessee requirements will allow more drivers more quickly to help curb the current shortage. To accomplish this goal, this bill changes certain definitions of a commercial motor vehicle relative to what a school means to mean vehicles designed to transport 16 or more passengers. This bill is compliant with federal law and would not risk any federal funding. Also, I want to say thank you to the Department of Safety and Department of Education who are deferred on the bill.
All right. Thank you, Chairman Sapicki. Members, you've heard the description of House Bill 1928. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing none, House Bill 1928 does have a cost associated with it, so we will have to place it behind the budget and consider it at a later date. So without objection, House Bill 1928 goes behind the budget. Thank you, sir. All right, members, let's jump back to item number four. Item number four on our calendar is going to be House Bill 484 by Chairman Boyd. You have a motion and a second. Sir, you're recognized for a brief description.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman of the committee. So members, I ran this bill last year and it went behind the budget, and we now have a revised fiscal note on it. And this bill would take a theft and possession without authorization of a catalytic converter from a class A misdemeanor to a Class E felony. Mr. Chairman, I will take any questions.
All right. Thank you, Chairman Boyd. Members, you've heard the description of House Bill 484. Any discussion? Chairman Garrett.
Thank you, Chairman Boyd. As a recent victim of a converter being stolen from one of my vehicles, I appreciate this bill making it a felony because it is easy. They got that converter in less than 5 minutes. We're able to cut it off the bottom of my car, take off, and gone in less than 5 minutes. So I appreciate you bringing this piece of legislation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative Garrett. Chairman Boyd.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I wanted to go in just a little bit more detail. I probably don't have to, but I want to let y'all know the intention here is really not to lock up all the little petty thieves that do this more than we would as a misdemeanor. Really, we want to get them to turn state's evidence. We want to use this as a tool to get them to roll over on the crime families, the international and national families that are doing this, and criminal organizations, and prosecute them.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Chairman Boyd. Further discussion. Representative Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for bringing this bill. I do think it's important that we look at this because the victims of these particular crimes, it costs them a lot of money to get those catalytic converters replaced. Basically, when I look at what the cost is now, it probably costs the victims a lot more than that. So thank you for this. I think we're on a good road.
Chairman Boyd.
No, thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. Representative Shaw. Anything else? You good? All right, members, any further discussion on House Bill 484? Hearing none and seeing none. The bill does have a cost associated with this piece of legislation. We will have to place it behind the budget and consider it at a later date. However, since the bill has been calendared 3 times, we wanted to place it on a special calendar to be published with our final calendar, and that is pursuant to our House rules. So without objection, House Bill 484 will go on the special calendar to be published with final calendar. Without objection, so moved. Thank you,
Chairman Committee.
Very much. All right. Let's fall right in line. I think item number 7 would be next, but I think Chairman Farmer is presenting a bill right now. So without objection, House Bill 1824, item number 7 will be rolled to the hill without objection. So moved. That brings us to item number 8. That is House Bill 2000, again by Chairman Farmer without objection. We're going to roll this to the hill without objection. So moved. That brings us to Chairman Grills back there. We are on item number 9, House Bill 1689 by Chairman Grills. Sir, you have a motion and a second. You are recognized for a brief description.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The point of this legislation is to slow the epidemic of illegal tire dumping and help DAs charge bad actors for their crimes by creating a registration for waste tire haulers with TDEC, requiring a manifest system for the tire hauler. They will provide a copy of the manifest to the place of origination and a copy of the manifest to the end user, which is a landfill or a shredder, where the tires are unloaded. This will help the DAs build cases and charge those that are dumping tires illegally. This also clarifies that TDEC can provide funding to local governments for cleanup of illegal waste tire dumps, provided the local governments sufficiently demonstrate the need and document the use of the currently available funding.
All right. Thank you, Chairman Grills. Members, you've heard the description of House Bill 1689. Is there any discussion? Chairman Hall.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Chairman Grills. This has been an issue in my district for 20 years, where one cleanup itself is going to take all the funds that we had typically appropriated for a year's time in the Nolichucky River. So this has been an issue that has need to be addressed, and putting this both on the front end, signing a piece of paper, and on the back end, make sure that these tire haulers are delivering that product to the appropriate site is very important. I think this is a step in the right direction to get those tires out of our rivers and in our fields out there as well. So thank you, Chairman. Thank you for this bill.
Chairman Grills.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I too have the same problem in my district. And so it's not one side of the state or the other, it's both.
All right. Thank you very much. Members, further discussion, House Bill 1689. Hearing none and seeing none, we're now voting on House Bill 1689, moving on to full finance. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it.
Thank you.
House Bill 1689 moves to full finance. Thank you. All right, that brings us to item number 10 on the calendar. Item number 10 is House Bill 1843 by Chairman Reagan. We do have a request to roll this bill 1 week. So without objection, House Bill 1843 rolled 1 week. Brings us to item number 11. Item number 11 is House Bill 2022. That's by Chairman Reedy. We have a motion and a second. Sir, you're recognized for a brief description on House Bill 2022.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and committee. This bill is just my annual pilgrimage to this committee. It's the House Bill 2022 will extend the ground ambulance assessment for another year.
All right. Thank you very much, Chairman Reedy. Members, you've heard the description of House Bill 2022. Is there any discussion? Hearing none and seeing none, we're now voting on House Bill 2022, moving on to full finance. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes do have it. House Bill 2022 moves on to full finance.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, sir. I did see Chairman Carr walk back in, so let's back up. He is item number 5. Item number 5 is going to be House Bill 2057 by Chairman Carr. Sir, you have a motion to second. You are recognized for a brief description.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for bringing me up. Now, what this bill does, this is for our county property assessors. This just move a county, they wait now, they usually do a reappraisal from 5 to 6 years. All this does under current laws is make the appraisal between 1 and 4 years, and that started in 2025. Certified tax rate is the same, sales ratio is the same, reappraisals are revenue neutral, and that's it. And I ask for support on that, please, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Chairman Carr. Again, that was House Bill 2057. The description, any discussion on House Bill 2057? Hearing none and seeing none, we're now moving House Bill 2057 on to full finance. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 2057 moves on to full finance.
Thank you, Chairman and
Thank you.
committee.
All right. That brings us back to item number 12. Give me just a second here to get caught up.
That's one you'll see today.
All right, members, we're on item number 12, House Bill 2586 by Chairman Russell. We have a motion and a second. You're recognized, Chairman Russell, on the bill. Looks like you have an amendment that rewrites the bill, so let's get this onto House Bill 2586. I have drafting code 013977. Is that correct?
That's correct, Mr.
All right, we have a
Chairman.
motion second on the amendment. We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the amendment? Hearing none, seeing none, we're now voting on drafting code 013977 on to House Bill 2586. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. On the bill as amended, sir, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Committee, House Bill 2586 suspends the professional privilege tax for any year in which the amount of the state general fund tax revenue over collections during a prior fiscal year exceeds $500 million. And currently, the professional privilege tax brings in just a little under $100 million. So if the state brings in 5 times what they're already bringing in, these people won't have to pay it.
All right. Thank you, Chairman Russell. Members, you've heard the description of House Bill 2586 as it was amended. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing none, there is a cost associated with House Bill 2586, so we will have to place it behind the budget, consider it at a later date. So without objection, House Bill 2586 goes behind the budget. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you.
All right, that brings us to item number 13. Waiting patiently in the back of the room will be Representative Barrett. This is House Bill 43. You have a motion to second. Sir, you're recognized for a brief description.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a bill from last year seeking to add a judge to the 23rd Judicial District.
All right, thank you, Representative Barrett. Again, members, this is House Bill 43. You've heard the description. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing none, this bill does have a cost associated with it, so we will have to place it behind the budget and consider it at a later date. However, it has been calendared 3 times, so we will need to place it on a special calendar to be published with our final calendar, and again, that is pursuant to our House rules. So without objection, House Bill 43 will go on the special calendar to be published with the final calendar. Without objection, so moved. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. All right, that brings us to item number 14. Did I say there's Representative Bolso? All right, we're on item number 14, House Bill 1632, again by Representative Bolso. You have a motion and a second, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, members of the committee. This is a bill that does just one thing. In 2022, the 112th General Assembly passed the Age Appropriate Materials Act. This bill simply adds an explicit standing provision to that act, indicating that parents have the ability to file claims to enforce the act.
All right, thank you very much for the description of House Bill 1632. Members, any discussion on the bill? Hearing none and seeing none, House Bill 1632 does have a cost associated with it, so we will have to place it behind the budget, consider it at a later date. Certainly look forward to having the discussion, but without objection, House Bill 1632 will go behind the budget. All right, that brings us to item number 15, also by Representative Bolso. This is House Bill 1908. You have a motion to second. Sir, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We do have an amendment on this one.
That amendment is traveling with the bill, so
thank
you're
you.
in the proper posture.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a bill that simply inaugurates a pilot program that would deploy 5 therapy dogs in our public school system across the state, at least one of which would be in each grain division. And it's been filed because of the success we've had in Williamson County using therapy dogs, particularly in elementary schools, to help children who have difficulties with emotional issues, anxiety, things of that nature. With that, Mr. Chairman, I'm ready for any questions.
All right, thank you, Representative Bolso. Members, any discussion on House Bill 1908? Hearing none and seeing none, House Bill 1908 does have a cost associated with it, so we will have to place it behind the budget and consider it at a later date. So without objection, House Bill 1908 goes behind the budget. Thank you, Representative Bolso. All right, brings us to item number 16. Item number 16, and waiting patiently, is House Bill 1805 by Representative Butler. You have a motion to second, sir. You're recognized.
Thank you, committee. This bill comes out of tragedy for a young man that dreamed of owning a trucking company and was killed while doing that. And so they applied for a refund, a prorated refund of the tags, and were denied due to statute limitations. And so this bill simply corrects that oversight in our state and allows for an owner operator of 3 trucks or less to apply for a prorated refund. And I'm keeping my presentation brief. And so with that, I renew my motion.
All right. Thank you, Representative Butler. Members, you have heard the description of House Bill 1805. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing none, there is a cost associated with House Bill 1805. So we will have to place it behind the budget, consider it at a later date. So without objection, House Bill 1805 goes behind the budget. All right, members, that brings us to item number 17, also by Representative Butler. It's House Bill 1924. You have a motion and a second. Sir, you're recognized.
Thank you, Committee and Chairman. This bill comes from Morgan County Correctional. My correctional officers having a constant problem with inmates exposing themselves to correctional officers and staff, especially our female staff. And so this bill extends their sentence for 2 weeks if they've been convicted through due process. And so with that, I'll renew my motion.
All right. Thank you very much, Representative Butler. Members, any discussion on House Bill 1924? Hearing none and seeing none, there is a cost associated with this piece of legislation as well, so we will have to place it behind the budget and consider it at a later date. So without objection, House Bill 1924 will go behind the budget.
Thank you, Committee.
Thank you, Representative Butler. All right, item number 18 on our calendar is going to be House Bill 2044 by Representative Fritz. You have a motion to second. Sir, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Committee, just briefly, this bill would eliminate 4%, the state portion of sales tax on a limited number of grocery items to help out our families, be applied to everybody. It's a targeted list of foods derived from the current WIC list. And with that, it does have a cost, so I'll renew my motion.
All right. Thank you, Representative Fritz. Members, you've heard the description of House Bill 2044. Any discussion? Hearing none, we are going to have to place House Bill 2044 behind the budget because of the costs associated with it. So without objection, House Bill 2044 goes behind the budget. Thank you,
Mr. Chairman.
Representative. All right. Item number 19 is there's Representative McCalman. All right. We're on item number 19, House Bill 1708 by Representative McCalman. We have a motion to second. Sir, you're recognized for a brief description.
Thank you, Chairman. Members, this is a Secretary of State bill. One thing it does is it increases from $500,000 to $1 million the triggering of an audit for the charity. It's the first time since 2007 since we have raised that amount. Excuse me. It also will be saving the charities nearly $2 million a year during the next fiscal year with a fee reduction for their filings. And lastly, it clarifies that professional solicitors are not exempt from late fees related to their annual reports. There was a funding letter sent in from the Secretary of State So we should be good on that. And with that, I stand ready for questions.
All right. Thank you, Representative McCallum. Members, you've heard the description of House Bill 1708. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing none, we're now voting on House Bill 1708, moving on to full finance. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, say no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1708 moves on to full finance.
Thank you, Chairman
sir.
and Committee.
All right, that brings us to Representative Slater. This is item number 20, House Bill 1675. You have a motion to second. Sir, you are recognized.
Thank you, Chairman and Committee. This is an administration bill for the Department of Children's Services. This bill opens up the eligibility criteria for the Relative Caregiver Stipend Program. The program provides eligible relative caregivers with a monthly payment equal to 50% of the full foster care board rate. And with that, I stand ready for questions.
All right, thank you very much. Members, you've heard the description of House Bill 1675. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing none, we're now voting on House Bill 1675, moving on to full finance. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1675 moves on to full finance.
Thank you,
sir.
Committee.
All right, that brings us to item number 21. Item number 21 on our calendars, House Bill 1697 by Representative Stevens. You have a motion to second. Sir, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This bill comes from the Rutherford County School Board and specifically from our reading specialist. And what the bill does is it eliminates the first tests that are given during the summer learning camps.
Okay, members, you've heard the description of House Bill 1697. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing, I do have just, Chair Lady Hazelwood, go ahead.
Thank you, Representative. I just haven't seen this bill before, and I'm just curious as to the rationale. Why would we need to eliminate the test? I don't have a problem with it. I'm just curious about why we're asking to do that. The pre-test, which would give you, I suppose, a baseline that you could then judge how much you increased your knowledge during that period. So,
Representative Stevens.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So in the third grade, they take the TCAP test, and if they don't score proficiently, they take the TCAP test again. And when they go to the summer learning camp and take another test on day one, and at the end of it, they take another test. So they've already got the two TCAP tests that they can use to measure to see if the students have learned during the learning camp. And then for the K through 2 grades without the TCAP test, they take screeners throughout the year, one of which is given in April. So they can use that as the baseline to see if the summer camp was successful.
Chair Lady.
so the test given at the end of the summer session and the TCAP test, or there's enough similarity that that's comparing apples and apples?
Yes, Representative Stevens.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, the Department of Education said they'll have adequate data to see if the camps were successful.
Thank you.
And I thank you, Representative Stevens. I think this is a really good bill because we take the test, right there at the end of school. And then for my school district, we break a week and then they take the test again, except minus the writing portion. So, and then of course, when they look at their 5% that they have for adequate growth, they're going to use, if they do not score adequate on, or they did not score proficient on that last test they took, then they're actually going to use the last test for that test in third grade. For fourth grade, that's the test they use anyway, is the last test during the school year. So this is a good piece of legislation. I appreciate you bringing this forward. Representative Cochran, did you have something?
Just go, and kind of along the same lines. And so it's removing the requirement, right? It's just, if the school system wanted to still institute that initial screener, they could. It's just removing the required test, correct? So giving them more flexibility.
Representative Stevens?
That is correct. The teachers, the reading specialists that work with the students during the summer camp said on day one they gave the test, and that was a day they could have used for instruction.
No, that makes sense. Thank you for bringing it.
All right, thank you. Further discussion on House Bill 1697. Hearing none and seeing none, we're now voting on House Bill 1697, moving on to full finance. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1697 moves on to full finance.
Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, that brings us to item number 22, Representative Thompson. There he is. All right, item number 22 is House Bill 972 by Representative Thompson. You have a motion to second. Sir, you're recognized for brief description.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Committee. This is a bill for feminine hygiene products. They're currently considered a luxury in this state. They're taxed at the full 7% versus food, which is at the 5% rate. And this bill is simply to add it to the tax-free weekend in August. The products are used by 50% of Tennesseans, and they're required really for human dignity. And taking this step would help to recognize these products as a necessity. The hygiene products should not be considered a luxury for women, but rather an essential part of a woman's health. And I appreciate all you members, and I do ask for a favorable vote.
All right. Thank you very much, Representative Thompson. Members, you've heard the description of House Bill 972. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing none, there is a cost associated with House Bill 972, so we will have to place it behind the budget, consider it at a later date. So without objection, House Bill 972 will go behind the budget. Thank you, Representative. All right. Did I see Representative Vital? I don't know if he's made it in. Do not see him. So without objection, we will roll House Bill 1888 to the Hill. Without objection, so moved. That brings us to item number 24. Item number 24 on our calendar is going to be House Bill 2627 by Chairman Baum.
Thank you, Chairman Hicks.
You have a motion and a second, sir. You're recognized.
This is a professional privilege tax bill. You may remember in 2019, we eliminated the $400 per person professional privilege tax on 15 of the 22 occupations it was levied. And then a year or two later, we eliminated it on doctors and healthcare professionals, partly in appreciation for their work during COVID, but it remains on 3 or 4 occupations. And this is a bill to eliminate the professional privilege tax on those last occupations.
All right. Thank you, Chairman Baum. Members, you've heard the description of House Bill 2627. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing none, there is a cost associated with House Bill 2627, so we will have to place it behind the budget and consider it at a later date. So without objection, House Bill 2627 goes behind the budget. All right, that brings us to item number 25. Item number 25 is House Bill 1702 by Chairman Williams. You have a motion to second, sir. You're recognized for brief description.
Thank you, Chairman members. House Bill 1702 just reauthorizes Go Build Tennessee from July 1st of this year until July 1st of 2029. This was originally enacted in 2015. What it does, it creates a partnership through the builders and contractors and across the state to allow pathways in the education of students in high school about pathways for them to enter the trades and what earnings they can expect to earn by working in these trades. With that, Chairman, I'm happy to answer any questions members might have.
All right. Thank you, Chairman Williams. Members, you've heard the description of House Bill 1702. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing none, we're now voting on sending House Bill 1702 on to full finance. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1702 moves to full finance.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. All right, let's go back to item number 23. Item number 23 is going to be House Bill 1888 by Representative Cochran. Representative, you are recognized. We have a motion second. You have a motion and a second. You are recognized on the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and bringing this one on behalf of the administration, and basically just cleaning up a section of code, providing some clarity for TDEC to allow them to procure certain items for their ends at state parks, and to make that simpler.
All right. Thank you very much, Representative Cochran. Members, any discussion on House Bill 1888? Hearing none and seeing none, we're now voting on House Bill 1888, moving on to full finance. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed, say no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1888 moves on to full finance. Thank you, Representative Vital. We went ahead and let Representative Cochran kind of run the bill, so we're good to go. All right. I think Chairman Farmer is on his way. That's the only two bills that we have. Chairman Face.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to go out of order and have a personal privilege with your indulgence. I happen to have one of the very best clerks in the whole state of Tennessee in here today. This is Mr. Frankie Herndon. He is Jefferson County Clerk, and we love him there. He wins higher numbers than anybody ever in the history of Jefferson County politics. Y'all make him feel welcome.
All right. Members, Chairman Farmer, we do have a little bit of time, so we're going to take a 5-minute break, recess, and in hopes of getting Chairman Farmer in here. So without objection, we'll recess 5 minutes. All right, members, we are on item number 7, House Bill 1824 by Chairman Farmer. You have a motion and a second. Sir, you are recognized for a brief description.
Members, what this bill does, it adds Kroger to the list of the potential settlements that would go into our opioid abatement fund. We're anticipating that could be $40+ million at some point in time. So it sets up the parameters and ability for us to accept those monies and accept that settlement.
All right, thank you very much, Chairman Farmer. Members, you've heard the description of House Bill 1824. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing none. Chair Lady Hazelwood.
I just want to thank the Chairman Farmer for bringing this bill. Anything that has a positive fiscal note, we're very excited about, particularly this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate that.
I don't know whether to say thank you or amen, Chair Lady Hazelwood. So further discussion. Again, we're on House Bill 1824. Hearing none and seeing none, we're now voting on moving House Bill 1824 on to full finance. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes have it. House Bill 1824 moves on to full finance. All right, members, that brings us to item number 8. Item number 8 on our calendar is going to be House Bill 2000 by Chairman Farmer. You have a motion to second. Sir, you are recognized for a brief description.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Committee. What this bill does is it allows the Attorney General's office to adjust our pay structure. Just one example would be right now, I believe their office is paid monthly. This would allow them to be biweekly or weekly or something along those lines and adjust their salaries to conform with those as, say, Class 1 officials, say the Commissioner of Education, Finance Administration, Transportation, and so on. But with that said, I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. We have folks here. If you have any more detailed questions, can answer those as well.
All right, Chairman Farmer, thank you very much for the description on House Bill 2000. Any discussion? Hearing none and seeing none, we're now voting on House Bill 2000, moving on to full finance. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes do have it. House Bill 2000 moves to full finance. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr.
Appreciate
Chair,
it.
members, and I apologize, and I so appreciate you all waiting on me today. I was over there with Chairman Keesling's committee, and was the first bill and only bill they took up for 45 minutes. So I was stuck there, but I wanted to be here, though. You know that. Right?
Chairman Farmer, we were delighted. We didn't wait for you. We waited for $40 million.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. That's right.
What she said, Chairman. All right. That's all. That completes our calendar for the day. Is there any other further business that comes before the committee? Hearing none and seeing none, without objection, we stand adjourned. We're adjourned.